Hi friends, welcome to stretching class. It's Thursday morning in case you forgot. We are going to do some really cool stretching today. I pulled these cards before class and I pulled this one, Standing Yoga Seal. It's an inverted pose where you put your arms behind your head and you bend over. It actually prompted me to look up this cool book that I have. Meridian Exercises by Shizuto Masunaga. He wrote a lot of really cool books about how stretching relates to your chi flow in your body, which is kind of where the name Ki-Hara comes from. In the Japanese world, we call it chi, ki, Ki, which is where the name Ki-Hara comes from. And then your hara is the place in your abdomen, like right here where you store, it's really like maybe here, where you store your hara. So we have Ki-Hara, it's your energy and your core and how those two things work together. But we tend to focus in American culture a lot on just muscles and just stretching. And we don't focus so much on the energy system. So I thought it would be kind of fun today to open up this book and look into this pose just a little bit. The first thing I want to show you is this meridian line. He says that this stretch runs with the lung, find it, come here, runs with the lung and large intestine meridian lines. And you can see how the dotted line runs through the leg and in through the front of the arm, and how the large intestine line runs through the back of the arm and also the back of the leg. Now, every different culture has different ideas for what meridian lines are. The Chinese system is different. These lines don't run through your legs. In Thailand, they have Ren lines. Those are totally different. In America, we tend to use lines like fascia lines, specifically like from a book called Anatomy Trains. Anyway, I can get into all of it, but this is stretching class, so let's just keep moving. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about, which I think is really cool, is this actual stretch. Where did I put it? He calls it the A stretch because, and this is why it drove me to this book, because I was like, hey, I know that stretch. Because when you do the stretch, your body makes the shape of an A. Where's my finger? Over here. It's like drawing in a mirror, right? And then he says some really amazing things. And I just wanted to read this to you guys because I tell you this all the time and sometimes it doesn't quite fit in. So he says, when you do this stretch, when you stretch forward as far as you'll naturally go, a line of tension or stiffness will be felt along the back of your legs, your abdomen, your back, and your arms. In exercise A, the line which has a tingling sensation or a feeling of distension corresponds with the lung and large intestine meridians. This sensation should not be felt as a result of using force to stretch these parts. You can use resistance, that's fine, but by trying to force yourself into the stretch won't work. So as you inhale and your body becomes filled with chi, what should happen is that you feel a line of tension develop along the course of the lung and large intestine meridian, which are those lines where you feel the stretching. This line of tension or stretch may be felt like the pulling sensation in the muscles. When you try to draw your arms forward by your own effort, which means that you are struggling to do it or you're pushing yourself deep into a stretch, the muscles become unnecessarily tense and the real line of tension becomes indistinct and hard to feel. Imagine that your arms are being pulled forward by someone other than yourself. Do that instead. So imagine that like I'm there pulling your arms. That's a different way to stretch than you would if you were trying to stretch by yourself. In conventional exercises, the tendency is to force a stretch or to add a bounce in the movement to increase the range of motion. It is true that your limbs will increase in flexibility if you can endure the discomfort of stretching them forcibly, but improvement in flexibility achieved in this manner is just a product of repetition. I've told you guys this a million times, but he says, you must realize that stretching by the use of force is the exact opposite of what it is intended in these exercises. So I just wanted to bring that up to you guys because sometimes saying it in a different way or reading it out of a book, people will be like, oh, right, what she's saying is real. But what I'm telling you guys is that if you want to get a really deep stretch, especially by doing Ki-Hara, you cannot force yourself into a place where your body feels uncomfortable, but you work in a way that you can actually feel the line stretching and enjoy the stretch. So I'm super excited about doing this stretch today. what we're going to do is we're going to focus on really turning in, feeling the line stretch so that we can get this energy into our body. And I love this idea. So let's go ahead and get moving. I want to make sure that you guys know that the chat is open. You can put a note in there at any time if you feel like you need more information about a stretch, or if you want to examine a stretch a little bit more, if you need some problem solving, whatever you need, you just let me know. Actually, I'm going to keep this. Sorry. Thank you for your patience. That'll give me a little bit more distance. So you guys should be able to see me, my whole body. Yay! Okay, so let's have a look at this first stretch. This is going to open up your chest and your shoulders and stretch through the back. What you'll do is bring your legs out to like a wide leg position. Kind of like, a little extra rotation. I'm not in a stretch here. I just have my legs kind of opened up. And then hold your hands together behind you if you can, but you don't have to. So basically, I'm just interlocking my hands like this. You could also just have them behind you like this. And then you're going to basically flip your body upside down in the way that you feel comfortable. So you just bring your hands behind you, bend at your hips, and as you bring your head down, you bring your arms up. When you feel that line stretching, take a good deep breath and then come right back up. Okay? So we're just going to move back and forth in that basic position. So you just let your body fold forward, let your arms come up, feel the line of tension, and then come out of it, okay? So let's go from this angle. You can see that I'm like an A. My legs are shaped out in this like bottom of the A position. And as I come up into this stretch, my hands create the top of the A form. Take a good deep breath in that stretch and then come right back up. This is, according to Masunaga, opening up your lung and large intestine meridians, which help with breathing, which help with coughing, which help with respiratory infections. It's a good time to do this, a really good time to do it. And back and forward. Now you can just take note of what you feel in this stretch, and as we open up more today, we're going to get a deeper stretch, okay? We'll try this, we'll come back and try this stretch again. All right, good work, my friends. Now go ahead and have a seat, and we're going to work through the back of your shoulders, okay? So bring your right arm across your body and grab your wrist with your left hand, and you're going to resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. And then you just push up for strength and pull down for your stretch. And as you pull down, you're pulling down towards the left side. Bring your head also to the left to stretch out your neck and shoulder. And that gets right through here. Now what I want you to do while you're in the stretch, first turn in so you can really feel your body. And when I mean turn in, I don't mean turn in. I mean get inside your body, okay? Put your awareness on the energy that you feel working through this line. And it'll go through the outside of your shoulder and in through your neck, okay? So see if you can find that tension. Once you're there, just take a good breath. And then exhale and come right back up. Okay? And then just back down again. When you get to the bottom of the stretch, go ahead and just take a nice breath and really relish in feeling that. Keep your resistance though. And back up. You are welcome to breathe however you want. I just feel like since we're working on this line, it might be nice to just really take some time to breathe today. Okay? Up for strength and down for stretch. See if you can find that line of tension. Let your chi, your ki, flow through this line. And just go back and forth. Okay? If this stretch doesn't feel good, just skip it. You don't have to do it. Or only move in the range of motion that feels good to you. So you should never feel like you're forcing anything or going to a place of discomfort. Just go to a place where you can just feel that, like, the level of tightness just kind of enter into that line where you feel good and safe, and then just breathe into it once and then come out of it. Okay? Just back and forth. This is Sari. Hi, Bubba. She loves 9 a.m. class. She sleeps through 11 a.m. class. I got your belly. Yeah. Good stretch. This is a great one for your lungs. Yeah, good job. Okay, so now let's switch to the other side. Bring your left arm across your body. Resist by trying to pull both arms apart. You'll push up for strength all the way up. Keep resisting here and pull down for your stretch. And as you get to the bottom, just feel that line of tension in a place that feels good. Hold it there. Bring your head to the side, your head over to the right. And then just take a nice breath. Breathe some life into that line. You might feel your fingers tingle a little bit. And then just come right back up. Okay? Up for strength and down for stretch. Breathe some life into it at the end. And then come right back out. Okay? Now, typically in Ki-Hara, if you guys are like my loyal followers, you'll be like, wait a second. We never stop at the end range of a stretch, right? The important thing is that when you get to the end range of the stretch, you're adding movement in some way. And by taking a breath, you're adding movement. Okay? You're moving your rib cage. You're moving from the inside. Just a little bit. That's okay. You just don't want to hold a stretch just for the sake of holding it. So here, even when I take my breath, it's just a split second and it's active. Okay? Up for strength and down for stretch. Feel that line of tension. See if you can find your ki moving through the arm. And by ki, I mean ki like Ki-Hara, ki energy. Right? Awesome, awesome. Okay, now let's work through a stretch for the front of our shoulders, okay? Now this one, you're gonna come into a tabletop position, sort of like a crab walk, with your fingers pointing towards your feet. And from here, I'm just gonna curl in with my shoulders, keep curling in, and then push up until you feel that tension through the line, and it'll come through here. And then take a nice breath. And as you blow out, you just come right back in. You're going to keep this tension all the time, but find yourself breathing into the tension and then blowing out to let go of the tension, okay? Back and forth. And again, find this breath in the way that it feels good to you. Like, you don't have to breathe exactly when I say to breathe. You don't have to breathe at the end of the stretch. You can do whatever you want. Because it is your body after all, right? You know the answers. You know what you're supposed to do for yourself. But the important thing is to make sure that you're not trying to bounce or force yourself into the stretch, but really feel where your body feels good and healthy, movable, right? It's a really lovely feeling, actually. And just go back and forth. Oh, well, thanks, Suri. She just brought us her octopus. Cats bring you toys to play, of course, but also we can't play right now. Suri, it's class time. But also because they hunt and bring their toys to you because they think you're too dumb to do it for yourself. Suri thinks that we are all too dumb to figure this out on our own. So come up to the wall. Bring your arms wide, like a push-up. But my elbows are pointing out, my arms are really wide. And I'm going to drop into a push-up against the wall. So I'm just going to very slowly drop into the wall until I feel that tension across the front of my chest. I'm going to take a deep breath. And then as I blow out, you just push back up. Okay, so find your breath here at the deep part of the stretch. And then back out. And in for your stretch, a nice deep breath. Now you may notice that if you have tightness in your ribs or your chest, that this can feel intense, right? it's tough. I had a really bad respiratory infection in the fall, and I've told you guys about this before. I swear to you it was COVID, but I just had my antibody test and it came back negative. So I did not have it, according to my doctor. But my ribs are still recovering. My lungs are still recovering, and that was November into December. And I still have tightness, I still have pain, and I still have trouble breathing. So these stretches are very helpful. And as you get deep into the stretch and you start to stretch out those muscles in between your ribs, it starts to open them up. It starts to realign your ribs. It starts to get things moving in the best way. So this, I think, is a really helpful set of exercises, especially if you're recovering from an upper respiratory infection of any sort, okay? So let's bring your right arm up and grab the outside of your elbow with your left hand, and then resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart to the sides. Push open for strength, so you're going to push open towards the right wall, keeping your back still. And then as you pull across, pull into your stretch here. You'll start to notice that you feel a tingling tension kind of feeling along the back of your arm. When you get there, take a nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, just open right back up. Okay? You could do this more fluidly if you want. So as you come into the stretch, breathe in. And then breathe out. And let each stretch be nice and healing for your muscles, okay? You just go back and forth, just like this. Open for strength and close for stretch. Find the stretch in the back of your shoulder. Don't try to push it. Don't try to force it. Just find what feels good for you. And find that extra movement at the end of the stretch from the inner part of your being, from your core, from your lungs. So from here, I'm going to add movement at my lungs with my ribs by breathing into my rib cage. Just go back and forth just like that. It's just going to stretch the muscle in a little bit of a different way and see if you can get your energy moving through that line. At this point, you probably can feel it. It's like this whole tingly feeling all at the back of your arm. Open for strength and close for stretch. And as you get deep into the stretch, a nice inhale, and then let it go. Just go back and forth. Oh, all right, we're going to switch sides. Oh, she's so mad that I'm not playing with her. Sorry, I don't have your pocket over there. Okay, so grab your left arm now with your right hand and push open to the left. And then as you pull into the right, see if you can find the place where that tension grabs along the line in the back of your shoulder. Don't push it. I mean, resist, right? But don't try to take it past the place of it where it's comfortable. And then take a nice deep breath. And then open up on your exhale. Feel free to breathe on your own. Like I said before, I don't want anybody hyperventilating, right? But you can use the breathing apparatus to move different bones so that different muscles stretch and change, so that we can add a little bit more change in these muscles. See if we can get a little bit more energy moving through this area. One thing that people don't know, well, maybe you do, I don't know. I didn't know until I looked it up, was that the actual like Chinese symbol for qi is a combination of two words, breath and food, like air and food, basically. Rice is like the colloquial term for food. It's like how we call like tissue, like Kleenex tissues or whatever. Like it's like, you know, it's a big word. Like rice just means all food. So rice and oxygen, basically, food and oxygen. So as you're breathing in this life force energy, this oxygen, and your body can create that oxygen, or can take that oxygen, mix it with the energy from your food and create energy. That's ATP, right? And that energy is able to flow through your body in a really interesting way. So that's kind of, it's our life force. It's what we're working towards, right? So chi is not some ethereal, crazy, like metaphysical thing. We're not talking about like the ethers of the universe. We're talking about taking oxygen, mixing it with the good stuff that you've already put in your body and turning that into energy and then letting that energy flow through your body. That's what we're doing from a scientific standpoint. Now, if you want to think of this as taking the chi of the earth and bringing it into you, you can, because it's still oxygen, right? It's all the same thing. So let's see how our A pose does from here. So bring your hands behind your back. And all you're going to do is bend at your hips. Go into that inversion, like a forward fold. Bring your arms up so you're like in an A. When you get deep into the stretch and you feel that line, take a deep breath. And then breathe out and come right back up. And if you want to try it again, go for it. So bend over, arms up, take a nice deep breath. And then come right back out of it. Remember, when you go into the stretch, don't try to bounce or force yourself into the stretch, but just pretend like I am gently pulling your arms over your head and forward. So pretend like I'm just on the other side of you, and you're just giving me a little bit of fight, and I know exactly when to stop, where you feel safe. Take a deep breath, and then I let you back down. Okay? That's all it is. It's so simple. Stretching is so simple, you guys, when you're nice to yourself and when you take it easy. Now we're going to move into a stretch for the front of your quads. So let's go up against the wall. Oh, there it is. I knew I had it. I brought a new towel out because I kept having to run into the kitchen to get dish towels. You're going to want a hand towel, like something, or even a bigger one, or a pillow, or, double your mat up, or a knee pad or something, and put it against the wall. Some of my clients use those pads that gardeners use. You can buy them at like the home stores, and they're like thick pads that people kneel on when they do their gardening. That's perfect. Those kind of things are great. So what you'll do here is put your hands on the ground. Bring your right leg up so that your knee is close to the wall and your foot is flat against the wall. And then you're going to bring your other leg around to the front so that you're in the lunge and come up into this lunge. Now, if your body's like, whoa, nope, my tension's too much for that, then all you need to do is bring your knee further away from the wall. And that will make it a lot easier for you. You can also put your foot up against a chair or like put a ball, like an exercise ball behind you if that feels good. And don't hesitate at all to make yourself feel comfortable. So if you want to put something under your foot, like another towel, that would be fine, okay? I'm going to get closer to the wall because I want a deep stretch. Okay, now from here, what you're going to do is push your foot into the wall. That's going to drive your body forward. My front leg here is going to fight me, and then I'm going to use my front leg to push me back. Now again, you want to find that line of tension in your quad here in the front. And as soon as you feel it, just kind of revel in that feeling, take a nice deep breath. Feel the energy go through that area, and then exhale and come right back out. And just go back and forth. So you're going to push into the stretch, breathe into it, and then push out. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're increasing the ki in our bodies. And that ki flow, the energy moving, it helps to build up the strength in your hara as well, to build up your core strength, right? So back and forth, but really good focus on breathing today. I think it's important. Take a breath. And then blow it out on your way out of the stretch. Now remember, you move in the range that feels good to you, and you do as many repetitions as feels good to you. Okay, so if you feel like you've completed enough of the stretch, it's okay to get out of it. If this stretch doesn't feel good to you, you can skip it altogether. That's fine. Okay, you could just take some time to think about breathing the energy into your quad muscles without doing anything. You could just stand up and see if you can put some energy into that area of your body. I'm okay with that, if you're okay with it, right? Forward for strength and back for your stretch. As your body opens up as we do these other stretches, this stretch will get easier for you, okay? So you just go back and forth. Now if this stretch is really tough for you, and you guys are usually doing my class on a regular basis, There's another stretch that I have in my stretch, it's like stretch by stretch videos where you can actually learn every single stretch one by one. There's another quad stretch that I call the 4 corners quad stretch. That would be a good variation for this. So if you are having trouble with this one and you're like, I just can't do it, go back and learn that stretch later, and then you can always replace this one with that one, okay? All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So bring your hands down, take your front leg here and bring it down, and then you can take your foot off the wall, and then we're gonna try the other side. So take your left leg and put it on your towel. Bring your right leg to the front and come up into a lunge. If this is uncomfortable, if you feel too much tension, bring your knee away from the wall so that you just pull that towel a little further away. That'll regulate it, okay? Then push with both legs. Your back leg pushes into the wall, your front leg is pushing into the floor, and you're gonna come back and forth. So my back leg pushes me forward, my front leg pushes me back. That's when you'll start to notice this tension in the quad. When you feel that, take a deep breath into it, and then push back out. You can exhale as you come out. When you come into the stretch, take your time, do what feels good. When you feel that line of tension, just really put your awareness, turn in, feel that feeling in the quad, and then breathe all that energy right into the quad. And then back. And you just go back and forth. So you can really put your focus on that line of tension that you feel in the front of the leg and in front of your thigh. And take a nice deep breath. And exhale. Now it's possible, if you have a problem in this muscle group, that you won't actually feel this stretch. Like if you don't feel it at all, then it means that we have some other things to work on. If you cannot feel that line of tension, then you're not actually breathing any energy into that stretch. Something else is blocking it. Or if you feel really stuck, if you feel pain, if it just feels really uncomfortable, then again, your body's telling you there's something wrong. So if that's the case, just skip this stretch. It's okay. Okay? Just skip it. It's not a big deal. Just go back and forth. When you get deep into the stretch, breathe some energy into it. And then exhale out. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Come back to your mat. Now you're going to lay on your back and bring your left leg up. Grab your heel with your left hand. And you're going to kick down with your heel into your thumb. I have my thumb on the bottom of my heel. And then I'm going to pull up. This is a diagonal pull. My leg is out at a diagonal about 45 degrees. So I've turned my knee open towards the left wall. So kick down for strength and push up for stretch. Now, I had a client ask me a really interesting question the other day. He was like, are you actually pulling over your body? And I was like, no. So if you do this, if you look at it from this angle, my knee is open to the side. I'm using my left arm, I'm using my left hand. It's like there's a plane of glass going through the center of my body, like right down my spine all the way through, and nothing crosses that line. So as I come up into the stretch, everything stays on the left side of my center line. Okay, you should feel this stretch on the inner part of your hamstring right here, in this line here. And so what you want to do is see if you can find that stretch, feel the tension, and then take a nice breath into it. And then exhale and let it go. Keep tension in your leg the whole time so you're still resisting. Even on the way down you resist. But you can let your breathing help you at the end range to just add a little bit different motion. Your breathing apparatus is really funny. Keep doing that stretch while I explain this. You have your diaphragm, which is up at the top of your abdomen, kind of like at the base of your rib cage, right? And as you take a deep breath, your diaphragm drops down, and that creates a vacuum and fills your lungs. But what most people don't know is that you also have your pelvic floor, which is the base of your pelvis. You have all these muscles at the bottom of your pelvis. And when you take a deep breath, that also drops. And so when you take a deep breath, all of your organs just kind of shift down a little, everything just moves down, and then you come right back up, and the breath comes out. So there's this like undulating force of your abdomen every time you take a breath. It's not just your diaphragm or your rib cage moving, but it's actually your pelvic floor moving. So as you breathe into this stretch, feel the bottom drop down. Feel this happening from your root chakra. Feel that opening at the bottom and the lift as you come up in the exhale, okay? So let's go ahead and switch sides. Go into your right leg here. Grab your heel with your right hand. Kick down for strength. Keep kicking down. And as you pull up, find the tension in the inner part of your hamstring, and then take a deep breath into the base of your pelvis. And then as you come up, you can feel that lift up. So up for strength, up for your stretch, take a deep breath, and down. Up for strength, take a deep breath deep into the lower part of your pelvis. And down. I think sometimes we get out of touch of that area of our body and we don't realize that it's also quite important for breathing. And I think sometimes we feel like we're clenching or we're holding from our lower abdomen. It's like the bottom of the rectangle, right? It's like a giant cube almost. It's like a cylinder. Like a cylinder. So like your abdomen is, you're here, and the bottom is like it's like two sides of a drum, and they come up and down like this. So a lot of times people clench here and they breathe from here, but they're not getting the whole piece, right? And when you think of it that way, like you're not actually getting the good deep breath that you want to get. So see if you can find that in these stretches. We're going to focus on it a little more in this next one. So bring your feet together. It's like a butterfly stretch. You can sit like this with your feet close to you, as close as you want. But again, you just want to find a place where you start to feel this tension in your inner thighs, but not in an uncomfortable way. Not pushing, not bouncing, right? Just kind of in a comfortable way. If this is uncomfortable for you, sit on something. Like sit on a pillow, sit on some books, sit on a yoga block if you have one, just to raise your pelvis up a little higher. That will make you feel better. Then take your elbows and put them on your knees, and you're going to add resistance between your knees and your elbows. Your legs are going to squeeze in, your arms are going to push open. So you squeeze in for strength, and then from here you're going to resist and move. So I'm opening up, I'm still resisting with my inner thighs, but it's light resistance. And when I feel that tension kind of grab, then I'm going to take a nice deep breath into my lower abdomen, into the base of your pelvis, into your root chakra. It's really an interesting feeling, isn't it? This is going to help you to feel really grounded, especially in your breathing. So take a nice deep breath into your lower abs, like into the base of your pelvis. In for strength, and open for stretch, and take a nice deep breath. That's it. It's going to make you feel so alive today. Goodness. Open for stretch, take a nice deep breath. And then let it all go, right? You still keep the tension in your muscles, it's all still there. We're just putting our focus in a little bit of a different place so that we can get our chi moving in just the right way, right? In for strength and open for stretch. Now, if you want to, you can even stay here. So open here, find your stretch, and then breathe deep into your pelvis. And exhale, and breathe deep. And exhale. And pay attention how the bottom of the cylinder moves up and down, right? You have this like undulating force of breathing where everything's moving, okay? Isn't that cool? It's so cool. I love it when I feel inspired. I've just been pulling these cards before class, and when that one came up, I was like, oh, fun. Let's go for it. It's awesome. I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of cards. We'll figure it out. Okay, now bring your left leg up. Take your towel and wrap it around your foot, and then hold the towel with your right hand. Then bend your knee in so that your knee comes close to your elbow. So I'm actually turning my knee towards this wall, towards the right wall. My heel is coming out towards the left, like towards where my computer is, where it's filming, right? Now from here, I'm internally rotated with my leg. I'm going to kick my heel down, and then I'm going to pull up. It's still just a hamstring curl, but you're on a diagonal because of the internal rotation. So kick down for strength, then pull up for stretch. I'm pulling with my right arm. I'm kicking with my left leg. I'm kicking with my left leg. And I'm getting the stretch through the outer part of my hamstring through here. Okay, so you kick down, get that stretch, get the strength. As you come up, see if you can feel that line of tension grab. And when you feel it, take a deep breath into it. And then exhale. If you find yourself not being able to get a good breath, it's probably because you still have carbon dioxide in your lungs. So you might want to just breathe out first, like just blow it all out first. And then take a deep breath. And let it go. Now you can think again about taking that deep breath into your lower body, into the lower aspect of your breathing, since we're working on your lower body. And just go back and forth just like that. Down for strength and up for stretch. And find that tension and take a breath right into it. See if you can get your chi moving. Here we hold, continue resisting, add movement from your breathing. And then come back down. Oh, this feels good to me today. I hope it feels good to you guys too. Let me know. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Put a little thumbs up in the thing on the YouTube. Kick down for strength. We're going to use our right leg now. Wrap the strap around your right foot and hold it with your left hand. Turn your knee in towards the left so that you're internally rotated. Kick your heel down for strength, and then pull up with your rope to get the stretch, or pull up with your towel or whatever you're using. Find that stretch on the outside of your hamstring and take a good breath into it. And then kick right back down. We want this movement to be as fluid as possible. So there's never really a time that you're just holding. You're just always moving, and if you're holding the stretch, you're breathing. It's just for a split second, just a little bit of time. So see if you can find that. So we're moving down for strength, up for stretch, breathe into your lower abdomen. And down for your stretch. Down for strength, up for stretch. Strength and stretch sound very much the same. Even after all this time, I still get them confused. One more, up for strength. Breathe some life into that muscle. And then out. Good work, good work, good work, good work, my friends. All right. Okay, get rid of your towel. You don't need it anymore. At least not for now, okay? We're gonna go into a stretch for the back of your shoulders. This is for your rotator cuff, the back of like your shoulder blades, those muscles right across the back of your spine. You're gonna bring your hands together, your fingers over top of your head, and squeeze in like you're trying to pop a balloon between your arms. When you get to the end of the stretch, take a nice deep breath. And open up. When you take your breath, you should feel this tingly feeling, a nice good tingly feeling, not a bad tingly feeling, across the back of your shoulders, here into the outside of your shoulders, like in your outside of your arm, but maybe even from like your spine to your shoulder blades. So you open up, this is strength training, your shoulder blades are coming together, and as you close them, find the place where you start to feel the tension, and then take a nice deep breath into it. And exhale. Find that stretch in the back of your shoulders. Really think about opening your ribs, okay? Squeezing in. Make sure you have no breath left, so push all that breath out, and then take a nice deep breath. And then open back up as you exhale. Find what works the best for you, okay? Breathe a couple normal if you want, take it easy. Do as many repetitions as you want to do. You don't have to do a lot. But important, make sure the breathing feels natural and good to you. If it doesn't, then don't worry about it, okay? Sometimes I find if I'm in a yoga class and the instructor's trying to get us all to breathe on the same, like exhale in this move and inhale in this move and exhale in this move, I find myself like I'm just hyperventilating because that's not the speed I want to breathe at. So you find the speed that you want to breathe at. That's your own personal thing, and I have no control over that, right? So I'm not going to tell you like inhale, exhale, inhale. No, because my movement is different than yours. And my breathing capacity is different than yours. And my VO2 max, like the amount of oxygen that I need per movement and the amount of capacity that I have for that oxygen is different than yours. You build it over time, right? And for some of them, mine is different than it's worse than yours, and some of them mine will be better than yours. Doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter at all. What matters is that you listen to your own body, that you turn in, you feel, that you know, and that you put this energy in a way that feels the best to you. Okay? All right, now let's go into a stretch for the front of our chest. This one we're going to do on the wall. So stand up again, find some wall space, put your hands in front of you, and you kind of like lean on the wall. It's kind of like if you were trying to push a car like out of the snow or like out of the mud. And then from here, try to pull your arms down towards your legs even. So it's like you're pushing into the wall and pulling down. And then bend your hips. Bend your hips, fold forward, bring your head through. And when you get deep into the stretch, feel a little bit of a line stretch in the front of your shoulders. Take a deep breath. And then exhale and come up. You pull your body through. My arms are trying to pull me up. My legs are winning. My head pulls through. When I feel the tension, I'm going to take a breath. And then I'm going to exhale and come right back up. And just move in the way that feels the best to you. Breathe some life into that area. You might notice something different about yourself, right? I notice a lot of tension through my rib cage when I do this one. And you just go back and forth. Now again, if you have any shoulder pain, like in the top of your shoulder, you feel this in the back of your shoulder, you can move in smaller ranges of motion, or just skip the stretch completely, okay? Find the place that feels the best to you. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale. All right, whew, this is good. Okay. Let's move into a stretch now from the back of our shoulders. I think maybe, let's do this, actually our lats. Let's do our lats. So come into like a child's pose position on your knees. You're gonna take your right arm and pull it to the left corner of your mat. And then pull with that hand like you're trying to tap your right knee. You're trying to like pull all the way back and slap yourself on the right knee with your right hand. Then sit back. So my right arm is pulling the whole time. When you get deep into the stretch and you feel this line through the outside of your shoulder, or like It's not even your shoulder, it's like right here through the outside of your torso, along the outside of your ribs. Once you feel that, take a deep breath into it. And then pull yourself back up and exhale. It might be really hard to get a breath in this one because you're pulling the muscles along the side of your rib cage. So use this opportunity to just stretch them just a little bit more from the inside. Find that breath on the right side of your body in your right rib cage. Pulling down into your stretch. Take a deep breath at the end. And exhale to come up. And just go back and forth, pulling into your stretch. And up for strength. Fill your body up with energy, right? But take this opportunity too to just get a deeper stretch. Good, let's switch sides. So you bring your right hand down. That's just for support. Take your left arm and pull it across your body. And pull with your left hand towards your left knee. So it's like you're trying to pull through and tap your left leg. Now, as you pull down into the stretch, you'll feel the life here on the outside of your body. Take a nice deep breath into it. And then exhale on your way up. You just go back and forth. Pulling into your stretch. Take a deep breath. And exhale. And come up. Turn in a bit. See if you can find turn in to feel these muscles. Turn in to feel the chi flow. See if you can feel that energy moving through the outside of your body. See if you can feel that line through here, maybe even down through your arm. And just breathe some life into it. Oh, good work, you guys. Now let's work on the top of our shoulders and our neck next. So let's do our other arm. So take your left arm into your body, grab your wrist with your other hand, push up for strength, and down for your stretch. Feel this one in the top of your shoulder, right through here. Bring your ear to your right shoulder, your right ear to your right shoulder. And then take a breath. Up for strength and down for stretch. And this is the highest part of our breathing apparatus, which is like the last bit, the top of your lungs, around your collarbone. So as you come down into the stretch and you bring your head to the side, it might feel like a more shallow breath. Just kind of raise, just a small raise at your collarbone level. Okay, so come down for strength. Bring your head to the side, and a little breath, just to get a little bit of a deeper stretch. It's very minuscule in this one. Feel it like right around here when you take that breath. So down for down for your stretch, bring your ear to the right. Breathe into it and exhale. You might just take a few where you just do the stretch here, okay? Just go back and forth and make sure you feel really good. If you start to get lightheaded or anything, just take a smaller breath, take a smaller range of motion, be easier with yourself, okay? Up for strength and down for stretch, your head to the side, and a little breath. And then exhale. Okay, let's do the other side. So bring your right arm in, grab your wrist with the other hand, and you're going to push up for strength and down for stretch. Bring your ear to the left this time, and a little breath. And then exhale. Notice if one side feels different than the other. See how you feel. You can breathe at the end here. And exhale. Up for strength and down for stretch. Your head to the side, And a breath. See if you can find those muscles. Where does it stretch when you really feel it? Like when you really breathe, like does it stretch differently than when you're just doing a regular stretch? See if you can find something different here. You just go up and down, okay? This is a little tougher for me, I have to admit. This might be the solution to my problem. We'll see. I've been having costochondritis. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's an inflammation of your rib cage. That's what I'm assuming it is, and it hurts like all the way through here. Yesterday, it nearly doubled me over. So it's an interesting thing, just recovering from this respiratory problem that I've been having. So that's that one really triggers it. So that's pretty fun. It's interesting to find like what movements are causing problems, what movements feel good, and can you find balance between the two, right? So now let's come up into a lunge with your right leg in the front, your left leg behind, and you're going to try to squeeze both legs in. Use your front leg to pull you forward. This stretches out your hip flexor here. And then when you get to the deep part of the stretch, take a deep breath, but this time onto your low pelvis. And then pull back. So when you breathe in, you want to have this feeling of like the dropping. It's like if you're squeezing and you almost feel like you're like squeezing your kegels a little bit, if you know what I mean, like you're like trying to squeeze up with your with the muscles of your lower pelvis. If you just let it go, almost like if you were about to like go to the bathroom or something, like you just kind of like release those muscles, then you should be able to get that deeper breath. So relax there, take a deep breath, and then pull back. Use your front leg to pull you forward. See if you can find that breath at the end of the stretch. And then back again. Okay, just go back and forth. And into your stretch here, find your breath. Feel the line here in the front of your hip. See if you can access that, see if you can breathe some life into it. And just move back and forth. It can be really easy, it can be pretty minuscule, you just do what feels good to you, okay? Awesome, and when you're ready to switch sides, so bring your right leg behind your left leg in the front. Try to scissor both legs together. And then use your front leg to pull you forward into the stretch. When you get deep into the stretch, let's put some life into it. Breathe into it. And then use your back leg to pull you out. And just go back and forth. You can breathe how you feel comfortable. You can breathe on your own schedule. But just make sure that you put some life into that muscle, that you really feel where the tension kind of grabs you. And go from there, okay? Forward into your stretch. Take a nice deep breath. And then out for strength. Forward for stretch. And out for strength. And you just go back and forth. Find the stretch in the way that feels the best to you. Keep moving, okay? Breathe some energy into that muscle. Enjoy it. And then exhale, let all of that go. All right? Okay, we're going to move into a stretch for your hamstrings. I'm just going to check where we're at. Perfect. Time-wise. Grab the ball of your foot with both hands or your heel, or you can wrap the towel around your foot in the same way that we did the other hamstring stretches. You'll kick down for strength, engaging the hamstring. Pull up for your stretch. Find the line through the back of your leg, and when you feel that tension, take a breath into it. And then down. Exhale. So as you come up, take a breath into that tension. And down for strength. And you just move up and down. Find how Your body moves just a bit when you take a breath. And you get just a little bit of a deeper stretch just by breathing into it. And if you want, a couple without breathing would be fine, right? Just do what feels good. Now remember, you want to feel the stretch in the back of your hamstring here. If you don't feel that, it could mean that you're not accessing this muscle. So feel free to do some of the problem-solving muscles. Or problem-solving videos. There's a whole playlist of them. So you just find the muscle that's not working for you and do that video. You may also notice that if these stretches are tough for you or you're just like really frustrated with class, then you may need to do some of my other videos. Like I have a whole series called Stretching for the Inflexible. I'll link it at the end of this class. That video there's a whole series of them, but they all tie into problem-solving videos depending on what you need. So now grab the ball of your foot, of your left leg with both hands, or your heel. I like to grab my toes with my left hand. That seems to be comfortable for me. Kick down for strength and pull up into your stretch. Find the tension in that muscle and take a deep breath into it. And then kick down. And see if you can just feed some life into that muscle. And go back and forth. Breathing into the muscle, finding that life. And then exhaling. Remember not to try to pull or force or push yourself. Don't bounce. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. Find the tension, the line of the tension that feels healthy to you. And then breathe into it. And then kick right back out. You're not forcing anything. There's a tug of war, so you just pretend like I'm trying to pull your leg up and you're giving me just a little bit of a fight. That's it. Pretend like somebody else is trying to pull your leg up. And when you get to the end of that stretch, take a breath into it. And then down. Oh, that's good. You know, if somebody was pulling your leg, right? It's a funny thing. Oh, you're pulling my leg. If someone was pulling your leg like this, you would fight them a little bit naturally because you would want to be able to stop them, right? You wouldn't just relax. You wouldn't just let them have your leg completely relaxed. That would be stupid, right? Your body wouldn't even let you do that. So there would be natural resistance the whole time. So if you pretend like you have that feeling of somebody else pulling you up and you're giving them just a little bit of fight, then you're in control the whole time. And then you can really feel that muscle working, okay? All right, so now that we've done all of this work, we've really worked to open up our lungs, we've done a ton of breathing, we've done a ton of work opening up everything, unlocking all the barriers that could be there. Let's come on back up and see if we can get a little bit deeper stretch in our A stretch. If this doesn't feel good to you, you can always skip it. But what I would want you to do is find the position that feels good for your legs first, okay? Then find a position that feels good for your arms next. That could be hands together, it could be hands apart, doesn't matter. From here, bend at your hips and find the place where you feel good. If you feel a little lightheaded, just stop, don't do it, okay? Find the position that feels good. When you start to feel the tension, take a deep breath. And then exhale and let all that energy move out. You can let go of the stretch a little bit if you want. And then pretend like I'm right in front of you and I just pull your arms gently over your head. Take a deep breath. And then blow out. You can even come all the way up if you want. If you feel a little lightheaded, give your quad, squeeze your legs together. That'll push some of the blood up to your head. Then bring your hands together. Let's try it one more time. Fold over. Let gravity be your resistance. Pretend like I'm just gently pulling your arms over your head. And take a nice deep breath. And exhale and come up. All right, friends. I think that's all we'll do today. I'm so glad you guys made it in today. It's My face is all red. For being upside down. I'm so glad you guys made it in. I'm really excited that you guys are doing these classes. If you guys feel the need to give back, sometimes people ask like how they can help me through this process. There are a couple of ways. The first way is to subscribe to my channel. Like immediately, number one, the best thing you can do is click the little subscription button. That helps me more than you even know. So please subscribe. You could donate if you feel the need to. Of course, if you are not making money, don't even bother. I like to give these classes to people who need it for free. But if you're able, just a little donation, anything helps. I put that link in the description box below. Just giving me a like a thumbs up or a comment is very, very helpful, but also sharing this with your friends is so important. If you have any friends who are recovering from COVID or any friends that have asthma or breathing issues, I think this workout would be very, very helpful for them. I've also thought, I mean, through class, I was like, I got to send this to like 12,000 people or like 4, but still, there are people who could really benefit from this, especially as allergy season kicks up. People who have allergic allergies, I think it'd be very, very helpful for them. Okay, one more quick thing. If you guys really love Ki-Hara, I'm starting at online self-stretching, that's what these are, like where you do the stretches yourself, certification program. Up to this point, we have only had a Ki-Hara certification for assisted stretching with a little bit of self-stretching thrown in. But this class is a week-long course, 3 hours a day. Part of that class is to actually do these classes. So you have 2 hours of learning in classroom time, and then you do this class with me live. You're not actually teaching the class, you're just participating in class live. So it's about 10 hours of classroom time per week. I'm doing this 9 to noon on Central Time through like specific weeks of time when I have enough people signed up. So if you guys are interested in getting certified to become a teacher for self-stretching, or you just want to learn a little bit more about how this works or just like really dive in, think of it almost like a retreat, then let me know. Just go down in the description box below. There's a link for my website and you just fill out the web form. It's like a contact form at the bottom. Tell me you're interested in certification and I will get you all the details. I'm super excited about this class. It's done over Zoom, so like anybody can do it, but it's 9 to 12 Central Time typically, okay? But don't let the time stop you. Just send me a note if you're interested, all right? I just want everyone to know about Ki-Hara. I want more people teaching. It's so important to me. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support, for your likes, your shares, and your subscriptions, but also for your donations. I'm so grateful for you guys for keeping me supported during this time. It's been very creative and energetic for me. I love it. I'm loving this time, and you guys make it possible, okay? So thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.